All right.
Welcome to the Vanderbilt Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. I got my guy G Sports in here with me. G, it's Vandy week. Come on, man. You got to be hyped a little bit, just a little bit.
I don't know. We're gonna be still hype after Saturday.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting game, and there's a lot of statistics here that just it's making you feel like it's not the same Vandy that you've been used to. I mean, the first statistic that popped out to me, first time LSU's been underdog, bro, in 77 meetings since 1978. LSU's walking in plus 2.5 point dogs, walking into Nashville. Another interesting statistic, Vandy hasn't beaten LSU in Nashville since 1990, and when they did, it was only by 3 points. So LSU fans, you could take it one of two ways. You could be upset about being an underdog. You could be nervous a little bit, or G, optimistic. They could potentially have an opportunity to make some bread here if LSU's at plus. Now, there is some bulletin board material getting given out. We got someone in the chat talking about it right now. Shout out Damon Wilson saying Vandy defense talking mess, talking about a shutout, saying they're feeling good from what they've seen through LSU so far. G, how you feeling about that comment? And if you're Coach Kelly, you firing up the boys with this? You posting this around the locker room, or this one don't matter?
I probably wouldn't bring it up in the team meeting, but I would definitely echo that to my position coaches and get them to bring this up in the position meetings. I
Yep.
wouldn't want to bring it to the team meeting because I wouldn't want to bring too much light to it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, Vandy should feel confident coming into this game, especially with how LSU's offense been looking, bro. Like, I can't blame them for feeling like that. Do I think they're gonna shut LSU out? Hell no. Do I think Vandy has a realistic chance of winning this game? I absolutely do. And
Yeah.
and here's why. I talked about it Saturday after the South Carolina game. I talked about it on Monday, and I'm gonna talk about it again. The 11 a.m. kickoff time really bothers me with LSU. I think going on the road, your routine, it's gonna be a hostile environment. This is not the typical Vanderbilt team you used to playing. This is gonna be a task on Saturday. Pavia, that's how you say his last name?
Yeah, Pavia, I think. Either
Pavia,
way.
Pavia, Pavia,
Yeah,
tomato,
same
tomato,
thing. Come on.
potato, patata, Pavia. Man, he completing 71% of his passes. He got 14 touches on the season, 4 interceptions. He take care of the ball. He leads the team in rushing. They do a lot of motioning and getting your quarterback, getting your linebackers and your D line eyes going one way, and then he's running the opposite way or going up the middle. He's really, really hard to bring down. They averaging 43 points a game, bro. We cannot take that lightly.
No.
Cannot take that lightly. And look, I watched that Bama game all the way to the end. It was 14-14 at the half, bro. 14-14. Vanderbilt had a lot of opportunities to win that game. Pavia threw a pick in the red zone that was crucial, and they gave up a touchdown with like 20 seconds up to go right before the half that I thought was the turning point in the game. They defense did really good against Bama. I know the score might not show it, but they defense played really good against Bama. Jam Miller had a game though. I think he had 120 some yards. He averaged like 5 yards a carry. I thought that was the difference in the game. Well, we know LSU been struggling running the ball. So if they can't run the ball, it's gonna be tough on them, right? I think it's gonna come down to special teams, flipping the field position. You know, Damian Ramos, he probably gonna have to make about 3+ field goals in this game. I think Grant Chadwick gonna have to flip the field position, punt that ball 50 or 60 yards. On last week, I think he had two inside the 20. One of
Mm-hmm.
them he punted like 71 yards. They gonna need them to keep them in the game and not give Vanderbilt short field position. And I'll say this: if Vanderbilt goes up early, I think LSU loses the game. LSU has to start off in front because the way Vanderbilt's offense is predicated, the way their offense is ran is predicated off of them running the football, time of possession, you know, clock control. So it's going to be very imperative that Kelly, Joe Sloan, and that offensive staff have this team up early in this game, especially on the road. If they don't, they're gonna leave Nashville with a L.
Yeah, the whole dynamic changes, bro, when you go down early because there's a panic element that sets in. I'm not in the building, I'm not on the sideline, but I would assume that the script you initially had for your first couple of drives might even get tossed out the window if things aren't working. And here's the thing about Vandy that I don't think a lot of people are bringing up enough. Diego, phenomenal mobile quarterback. Not the strongest arm, leads the team in rushing, but gee, Cedric Alexander, that running back, I did a little deep diving, bro. He's
He
at
good, pretty good.
6 yards per carry. Dog, he scored 5 times running, 4 times receiving. Vandy has 34 touchdowns. He's responsible for 9 of them, which is 26% of the scores. Now, at a face value, that statistic don't matter. Let me tell you when it gets a little froggy, G. LSU, in totality, has 17 touchdowns all season. So Vandy has double the amount of touchdowns LSU has, but Cedric has just as many touchdowns himself as Garrett Nussmeier does on the whole year. And I'm not trying to say anything other than this is a producing offense. And a lot of people are going to highlight number 2, but the running back I feel like needs just as much attention. Not to mention Eli Stowers, he's leading them in receptions and receiving yards. That's a tight end. Their wide receiver Cheryl has 5 touchdowns. Defense is obviously our best side, but this is the exact same way I'm feeling about the Ole Miss game, bro. You got to score 21 points to be able to even ensure you got a chance to win. Because that other side, I think they're going to be able to at least push this defense into a little bit point of exhaustion. It's not like, oh, they're going to be able to just explode all over them and score 40 points. I think, though, what's going to happen and what's a deciding factor is kind of like what Lenora Sellers did with the 20-plus carries. Bro, lean on Diego, make him run, make this defense decide, gas him out, put him in an uncomfortable spot. And if somehow, some way they're able to balance that running game and get a couple of shots through the air, yeah, I think Vandy wins this one. But I feel a little optimistic because there's also the side that, like, Garrett Nussmeier's kind of getting dragged through social media, and, you know, you saw the body language in the interview on Tuesday. Like, there is a time where LSU is going to have to stand up. Your back's against the wall. If you lose this game, quite frankly, I think your season could be over because this is one of the
I think that's a little premature.
It is. I was about to say the reason why is because you still got Oklahoma, you still got Alabama, and you still got A&M.
Oh, yeah, you will have to run the table for sure.
Exactly. And this is the easiest game out of those 4. Schedules always make matchups, of course, or matchups make it in terms of the ranking not always going to decide who's the toughest opponent. Vandy could be the toughest matchup, at least from a schematic standpoint for LSU. But I'm interested to see how they handle this because it's like put up or shut up. This is the same situation that Texas was in last week against Oklahoma. Like, hey, bro, you want to actually be a playoff team? You got to win this weekend. I'll ride LSU. 1, because they're plus and it's value. 2, because, like I said, bro, Garrett Nussmeier back against the wall. All he can do is swing right now, G. I'll take him in a close game. I think they can score 21. I think the defense holds Vandy to 17. That'll be my prediction. But it's an optimistic one. That's one that requires LSU's offense to go. And I want to ask you about this. Aaron Anderson, they're saying he's not 100%, but he'll be out there. And look, with what Kyle Parker did last week, with what Trudez Green did, with what Caden Durham did, shit, if you add Aaron Anderson to that and you're able to still get those guys to produce, I think you might be able to squeeze this one out.
I think you make a great point about Cedric Alexander, the running back. He's a really good player, and he's a home run threat. He's somebody that could take an 80 at any given moment, just like the third-string running back from South Carolina did last week. And you have to worry about that because they do a lot of zone reading, and when Diego puts it in his stomach, will he be so prone to think he's going to keep it and then attack the quarterback, and now Alexander keeps it and he's up the middle, hitting his head on the goalpost? You got to worry about that. And I think Eli Stowers, the tight end, who, if people don't know, this kid's a draft pick. He's gonna probably get picked in the top 4 rounds of the draft. Like, he's that good. And I wonder what's gonna be the plan. Are we gonna bracket him? Are we gonna bring Tamarcus Cooley down and guard him and let him guard him man to man? I'm curious to see. Eli Stowers is one of the best tight ends in this conference. He's 6'4", he's athletic, he can run, he can move, he got good hands. He's gonna be a matchup that's a matchup I'm gonna be paying attention to on Saturday. But if LSU don't start fast, and the offense hasn't started fast all year except against Southeastern, bro. So that's all I can go off of.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going off of that, I gotta give Vandy the edge, bro. And I think Vandy could mess around and pull his game out 24-14.
Who that have a lot of people upset.
Now, if LSU offense gets going early, even if it's close, I think LSU win the game. Because remember what I said at the beginning of this segment. Vandy's offense is made for them to be ahead. You see what I'm saying? And time of possession and control that clock. That's going to be a big part of how this game goes.
The slow grinding aspect of it. I'm trying to wear you down, see how much will you got.
And think about that. When you doing that, what you're doing? You're keeping the defense on the field for a long time. You're keeping that offense off the field. They're not getting as many possessions. It could really put LSU in a predicament to where they might only get 5, maybe 6 possessions the whole game.
Mm-hmm. And then mistakes are amplified. Not that one turnover, bro. That means a lot more. That's like 2 turnovers in this aspect.
And it's gonna be loud as hell in Nashville.
Oh yeah. It don't matter if it's a construction zone, G. They're gonna be wearing some damn hard hats. They're gonna be ready. This is their Super Bowl, bro. Or one of them. I mean, look, they don't get many moments like this at Nashville. I want to say something too. I want to double down and give Harold Perkins an opportunity. Well, not an opportunity, but give him some flowers here before Saturday. That could be somebody that they shadow over Eli Stowers through spring ball, fall ball. I've seen him over Trudez Green, and look, Trudez, I feel like is one of the most unguardable players. You saw it last week. I mean, holy shit, 100 plus yards. You could throw it up to him against anybody. Triple coverage, quadruple coverage. You're going to have to start putting 8 on him at this point. If Harold Perkins can kind of be disguised a little bit, a lot of people are expecting him to have that Russian presence, getting in there, creating havoc, and he has been. But, hey, bro, if he can put some straps on Eli, come on, man, he can make you some money here in terms of boosting your draft stock.
I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I think when you want to rush Harold or give him a different look, I think Tamarcus Cooley is the guy to bring down and guard Eli Styles when they running man to man. Because you know Blake likes to run man, especially with this
Yep.
group he has on the outside with DJ Pickett and Manso Delane. They have been phenomenal in man to man this year. So it's gonna be. I'm curious to see how it's gonna all play out.
We got Damon in the chat saying, who do you think will be the X factor in this game? I'm going to keep it short and simple, bro. It's been my X factor for the whole season. It's
On
Mr.
what team? On what team? Vanderbilt or LSU?
Good question. I don't know. I think he might just mean for the game as a whole. Until he responds, let's just say collectively for the game as a whole, I'm going to say Caden Durham because to your point, Vandy wants to control the clock. Vandy wants to be the bruising aspect. And then LSU's offense is kind of handcuffed until that running game opens everything up. Caden Durham had a nice week last week, got the hip pointer. They're saying he's fine. If he's able to answer the bell, give you 75 on the ground, that's going to help LSU get out of here. That's my X factor right here. Who's yours?
My X factor is gonna be on defense, bro. I'm gonna go with Whit Weeks.
Okay.
I think if he could put a hat on Diego early and often, and send a message that could make him tiptoe a little more throughout the game. And when he putting that ball in his stomach, trying to carry that mesh and deciding to pull it, he might think twice about it. Man, 40 been hitting me all day. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Whit Weeks, bro. Whit Weeks crazy. You know, he got that mindset on him. So I'm gonna go with him as my X factor on Saturday.
That's that same effect like at Clemson when Cade Klubnik had to think a couple of times. If you could bring that in, yeah, I think he's going to be all right. Damon said, yeah, for LSU. So we got it right. Come on, man. We read your mind out here. Let's move into the SEC Power Ranks, G. This has been kind of a carousel, if you will. This has been the week, though, that I think the least change has happened. This is the changes. Texas joins after their Red River win. I got faded. I got pushed back. I went 1-2. I couldn't handle the success. Whatever G wants to say, man, it is what it is, bro. Longhorns got me. They got me. I thought John Mateer would be able to answer the bell. They didn't. I got to respect them. LSU was at this 5 spot last week. They out of here this week. Ole Miss stayed exactly at number 4. They got 2 tough games coming up. I think the one this Saturday, them versus Georgia, I think Georgia wins. So I can't sit here and put them at 3. Great team, though. I think this is a good spot for them. Obviously, Georgia moved down 1 from last week. Like I just said, I think they beat the Rebels here. I know last year Lane Kiffin got his little feather in the cap beating Kirby Smart. I don't think it happens this year, G. I can't lie to you. And then my top 2 goes without saying. Number 2, Texas A&M, they slid up after a nice win against Florida. They beat them by 17. A lot of people were wondering if Billy could show a little bit of muscle. Got it done. Shout out Elko. Shout out Marcel Reed. And number 1, the Tide. I got to keep them there. Great win over Mizzou. Toughest team right now. I'll double down and say once again, I think Alabama will probably win the SEC. And if I had to guess who's going to be there in Atlanta, duking it out, it's Georgia and it's Bama. It's Kirby Smart and it's Kalen DeBoer. I don't know why. My gut's telling me this. I could be way off, G, but hey, bro, sometimes I just got to put some tape out there for people to hold on to forever.
Once again, I gotta respectfully disagree with the top 5, man.
Let me hear it, man. Let me hear it.
I got A&M number 1. When you go look at A&M body of work this season and the way Marcel Reed has taken that next step as a quarterback and not just as a runner, very impressive. And you know what that defense bringing you. You know what that defense
Pressure.
bringing. That 2-headed monster they got in the backfield with Ruben Owens and Le'Veon Moss, boot boy, by the way, they've been playing out of their mind. A&M the best team as of today in the SEC. Number 2, Bama, for sure. Ever since that Florida State game, they have looked phenomenal. And Ty Simpson, bro, he is way better than I anticipated.
He one of the best in the CFB, bro. I ain't gonna
He
lie.
he been playing really good. I like the way he been playing with so much poise and moxiness. He better than I thought. Number three is Ole Miss for sure. You know, they undefeated. They got some impressive wins. I like Trinidad Chambers. I just think that when you look at Ole Miss defense as a whole, I think that's gonna come back to bottom in the end. I like their front seven, but I think their secondary is very, very suspect. So that's why I got them at number three. Number
Mhm.
four is Georgia, and number five is LSU.
All right. I like keeping LSU in the five. I forgot to say this about Ole Miss. Washington State last week. It's not like a bad game. You won by 3 and you won. Like Brian Kelly would sit here and tell you that a win is a win is a win. I had times though when Washington State was up, like, come on, Ole Miss. What are we watching right here? Nah, every
Yeah.
Sunday, any given Saturday, whatever the hell the saying is, I'm screwing it up. But man, something about Georgia, I feel like they're just gonna have a late season resurgence. It's probably the Kirby Smart effect. I feel like I can never fade the best coach in college football. I feel like he's always got a plan. And then like I remember Cedric, he was talking to us about this whenever we did the interview, bro. But I've been seeing all kind of videos of like students in Athens on campus walking around, hearing Kirby on the megaphone, chewing into them, bro. Like, what the hell are we doing? All kind of stuff like that. Like, man, you just gotta love that vibe. I love Lane Kiffin too. I feel like that documentary kind of won me over a little bit. So I would root for either one from a personal standpoint, but my gut's telling me that Tuscaloosa is gonna be holding it up in Atlanta. I don't know why. I don't know
Man,
why.
look, any of them five could win the SEC.
It's
Let's
wide
be
open.
let's be honest about this, right? We
Mm-hmm.
talking about as of today,
Yep.
who are the top five and who's one, who's two, whoop de whoop de whoop. But A&M, bro, I've been watching them all year, dog. Like, and Florida defense is really good.
Yep.
Florida defense, regardless of what their record is and what people want to say about Florida, Florida has one of the best defenses in the country. And what A&M did to them, and the way Marcel Reed looked against them,
And
impressive,
and Florida's still
impressive.
without a top D lineman in Caleb Banks. Like they're missing pieces. And then also, I want to say this too, and I'm not trying to throw no shots. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade a spade. Look at how Florida's responding to the losses, the scrutiny, all this different noise. They're still going out there every week, putting out their best foot, giving people a nice run. Shit, they beat Texas. I mean, come on now. Not a lot of people could say that. Then look at Penn State. I mean, they get punched in the mouth. And like Mike Tyson says, everybody got a plan until that happens. Then they go out and lose to UCLA. Then they go out and lose to Northwestern. Billy Napier got his squad going, bro, from a mental standpoint, because they could come out every Saturday, give you your best shot. They did it against LSU. They did it against Texas. A&M got them, yeah. But I mean, I just feel like not many programs at that point are going to be able to every single week have a short memory, reset their mind, and actually go out there and have a decent chance to win. So shout out Coach Billy. They're talking about he could be fired this weekend, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've been seeing a lot of rumors about that. And I'm gonna tell you a big reason why a lot of those Florida players are still playing hard and giving him 100% every Saturday. Number one, don't ever forget that these guys are playing for their futures. When I say their futures, I'm talking about being drafted and getting evaluated properly. Bro, they going against top tier opponents every week. So if you're going out there, you making plays and putting some good film out, you improve your draft stock.
mm-hmm.
That's a big part of this too. Number two, like I've been saying from the beginning, Billy Napier is a great person, bro. Great person. And those players know that. And it's no facade what you see from Billy Napier when you hear him talk about his players and his program and how much he love them. Bro, that's not no performance he putting on. He really shows that to his guys and not only his players, but his staff. Player personnel, trainers, ball boys, it don't matter. Everybody in the building, he gives 110% love to, and I think all you seeing is them returning back. And that's why you see him playing so hard for him on Saturday.
No, that's real. Do you think, let's say this decision does get made, is DJ Lagway going to consider staying? Does it matter who their head coach is that they replace him with? We talked about it like a month ago, and if he'd potentially hit the portal and where he would go. But I want to revisit that conversation now that it's kind of getting closer.
I'm gonna go back to what we talked about. I think this might have been after they lost the first game to South Florida.
Yeah,
Bro, really need to get fired? LSU need to be on DJ Lagway's trail.
quick.
You hear what I'm telling you? Go get DJ Lagway. And for the people that don't know, and this ain't nothing nobody told me, DJ Lagway was on campus a couple times in high school and was ready to commit at a point. The only reason why he didn't because Bryce Underwood committed before he did. Like DJ Lagway was really considering coming to LSU. So if he gets in the portal or is thinking about getting in the portal, man, you got to try to bring him down to Baton Rouge, bro.
With the quickness. That'd be the number one quarterback. Shit, that'd be the number one player in the transfer portal if he entered. I can't lie, especially at this point. I mean, they ain't. You don't know who's going to enter. You don't know. They still got time, but
Now and look, and I know that might make some people feel some type of way because you got Michael Van Buren way behind Nussmeier and they high on him, and I'm high on Michael Van Buren too. But guess what, dude? I'm gonna always try to make sure I make my room competitive as possible.
oh yeah, the competitive depth. Brian Kelly
Uh,
talked about it.
y'all gonna have to duke it out.
Hold your feet to the fire. Yeah, hold you accountable. Put you in a situation where somebody could take your job. You're gonna have to keep pushing. Take every rep serious, MVP. Man, look, it'll be interesting. You ain't bringing in no high school recruit this year, so you're gonna have to bring in someone in the portal. It's almost understood at this point that another quarterback will be coming into Baton Rouge. Let's talk about the NFL draft real quick because we're talking about quarterbacks. Obviously, they're gonna be without Garrett Nussmeier next year, but who else are they going to be without? I kind of started thinking about it, G. I looked at the depth chart. I looked at classifications. Who's a senior? Who's a grad transfer? All this different stuff. You got a lot of names, bro. And I'm gonna just rattle some of them off, and I'm gonna have you react to if you think that they're all 100% gone. Because I'm starting to think for sure you're without Nussmeier, Harold Perkins, Josh Thompson, Byron Sharp, Jack Pyburn, Bernard Gooden, Patrick Payton, Mansour Delane, AJ Halsey, Jacobian Guillory, Jordan Gilbert, West Weeks, Jamari Butler, and Braylon Moore. You think any of them stay? It looks like they're all seniors, and I don't know if they all have eligibility.
I think for sure Harold Perkins is out the door.
Yep.
I think for damn sure Mansour Delane's out the door. Nuss for sure out the
New
door.
Hampshire. Yep.
Right. After that, you never know how it's gonna play out, and I don't know, how much eligibility some of those guys have. You understand? So, um, I think it's safe to say Mansour Delane will be the highest draft pick out of everybody on that team, though.
I wanted to ask you about that too as another question. It was it Mansour or was it Harold Perkins? Because that those are the two that I can really guess. And Nussmeier, I want to ask you also in terms of what range you think, because those would be the three preseason that you would say. And my order would have been Nuss, Perk, Mansour. And now it's looking completely flipped, completely opposite. It looks like Mansour's a top 10, maybe top 15. Harold Perkins can be toward the end of the first round. And then Garrett Nussmeier might be like a third rounder here. Where would you put him in
I
terms of the
think
hierarchy?
I think Harold goes third round at best.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't see him for sure being a first round pick. And I do think that Harold should consider moving to safety when he get to the NFL. That's just my personal opinion. Who am I? I know people want to compare Harold to Micah Parsons, but we got to stop that comparison, bro. Micah Parsons is like 6'3", 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
like 240.
He's like a D line almost. Yeah.
Harold Perkins is like 6'1", 6 foot and a half, 6'1", 220. Like people gotta stop making that comparison with him and Michael Parsons. It's not the same. I understand what y'all mean when you talk about how he come off the edge and things of that nature, but they not the same stature. They not the same. They don't have the same measurables, and that's a big difference when you talk about the NFL going against those damn tackles. You feel
Well,
me?
Campbell, yeah.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a difference. Nuss, I think Nuss has hurt his draft stock tremendously. I know they came out with the injury with the torso and the oblique, and they did that to try to save his draft stock. I just don't see him going first round, bro. I think Nuss probably gonna be in the third round range, maybe fourth round range.
I feel like you got a couple of people that could potentially stay as well because these guys could go to the NFL. Aaron Anderson, Zay Thomas, Barian Brown, and then Whit Weeks. What do you think about those four? You think you
I
could
think I don't
keep
I
those?
don't I don't think Z I don't think Xavier Thomas or Baron Brown has any more eligibility left.
Okay.
I,
Let me
I could
look
be
this
wrong
up.
about that, but I don't think they do. Aaron has another year eligibility. He does. The thing with Aaron, I know his medical might hurt him when it comes to the draft. When these doctors from the NFL teams get to doing their research and they see all the different things he's had to deal with. He's been in college, different surgeries, along with he's only about 5'8" on a good day. I just don't know how how high he can go this year. We're dealing with all that. He might have to come back another year to be able to prove that he can stay, injury free and keep producing at a high level. I mean, we know the talent is there. We know how
Mhm.
dynamic he is, and I also think Aaron needs to consider returning kicks again, right? To add more value to him when you talk about the NFL draft. I thought that was going to be one of his calling cards when he got to college because he was so damn good at it in high school. So that's something I think Aaron needs to probably think about going forward. And going back to returning punts and going back to returning kicks. Last year they put him in. They took him off kickoff return. And then I think it was the Oklahoma game, or it might have been the Vanderbilt game. They put him back there one time and he returned it for a touchdown.
True, one of the 2 touchdowns they had all year on special teams.
Yeah. So, I just don't understand. And from what I'm told, it's his decision not to return kicks. And I think it goes all the way back to his first year at LSU when they playing in Orlando against Florida State and he muffed that punt. And ever since then, he hasn't been back there to return kicks. But he gotta face that fit head on, bro, because he gonna cost us some money.
I think so too, especially when you're talking about that size. I mean, these are 2 weird comparisons, but like Tavon Austin did it, and it's shit. Trenton Holiday from LSU did it too, and he went to the NFL as a special teams returner, like quick, able to use that track speed. I mean, I feel like it should. If you're able to do it, might as well make a living off of it, bro. I'll go catch some punts for some money, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I just have to fair catch every now and then. I ain't trying to get lined.
I think the biggest sleeper out of everybody on this team when you talk about the NFL draft is Bernard Gooden. Now I know his measurables are gonna hurt him tremendously when you talk about how high you can go. But I think when they turn his film on, they really evaluate him, bro. Especially if he get a Senior Bowl invite, and these NFL coaches are able to watch him firsthand, like up close and personal, and see how good he is. I think he's somebody that can end up going fourth round and be a sleeper. Like I really like Bernard Gooden, bro. I think he's
Mhm.
a really good player. I think he could be a good player in the NFL.
Yeah, he's been one of the most physical pieces on that defense. And then next year, bro, the next draft, you're gonna see a lot of departures too. Trudez Green, Kaden Durham, PJ Woolen, Don McKinley, probably in my bro. Depends on how the D linemen go. It's gonna be interesting. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you one question. Besides quarterback, because I think that's the easy answer. Where's the biggest focus for the transfer portal that LSU's gonna have to hit? Because if you lose some defenders, you brought in a lot of nice key pieces, but you're gonna lose some edge, you're gonna lose some DBs. Who do you go target after this?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. They're gonna have a lot of turnover next year when you talk about going in the portal and replacing some of these guys. Bro, you're gonna have to replace both of your safeties and Tamarcus Cooley and AJ Halsey. You're gonna have to replace one of your corners in Mansour Delane. You're gonna have to replace both edges in Patrick Payton and Pyburn.
Potentially 2 linebackers.
You're gonna have to replace Barry Brown, Xavier Thomas, Chris Hilton. And I got this hunch. I really don't think Aaron Anderson coming back. I just don't think he's coming back. So you got to replace him. Quarterback. This gonna be a whole different team next year.
You're
Oh,
replacing your center.
yeah, it's gonna look totally different. Well, they can always go back to DJ Chester going, at center again. So the offensive line should pretty much stay intact. Besides losing Braylon Moore and Josh Thompson.
I think that's why Brian Kelly was so adamant about keeping Weston Davis starting, bro, because that's one less spot that you're going to have to hit in the portal. Like, give him as much experience as possible, see what you got from him as much as possible, just so potentially, if you got to get another person, you exhausted all options, and you're not just sitting there wondering what if.
And I think BK knows this is if they gonna do it, this the year. Because next year, as much as people might not want to admit this, it's kind of gonna be a rebuilding year.
It will
And
be.
why do I say that? Because it's gonna be a new quarterback at the helm. So let's just say Michael Van Buren is a starting quarterback. Bro, you know how it is. That first year starting in the SEC, it's tough.
Ask Arch Manning.
It's tough. Will Joe Sloan come back? So if you're bringing a new OC, that's new terminology, a new scheme you got to learn. If they want to have a chance to win a championship in this BK era, this is the year. This is the year.
And to your point about Joe Sloan, you could potentially be replacing both coordinators because There's a hot name on the
Blake
other
name
side.
hot. Blake
What?
name is hot. Blake
Yeah.
name is hot, bro. It's hot.
So
Cause look, if right up the road, uptown at Tulane, if he ends up leaving, people better remember that's Blake Baker's alma mater, Tulane. He
yeah.
played there. They gonna come calling for Blake Baker, bro. And Blake Baker will be a fool to turn that job down.
That would be the best destination for him, for me, because think about this now. 2 to 3 successful years at Tulane. Let's just say Brian Kelly retires. He's like, all right, I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to pass the torch. Let's go bring Blake back up. Blake already got a few years of head coach experience. All right, cool. LSU's head coach job opens, and he returns for the third time. I can see it, bro. I don't think this is something you'd give to him right after. But if he get a couple years at a smaller school, man, I can see him
I'm
coming
a,
back.
I'm gonna be real with you though. As much as I would love to see something like that, if BK ended up not working out for Brian Kelly, I think some of these group of five. Well, I'm lying because what's his name that came from James Madison that's at Indiana?
Signetti.
Signetti. I was about to say Napier and them kind of messed it up for these guys coming from group of five to these power five programs and having a chance. But Signetti might open that door for somebody else to be able to do that. So who knows how it's gonna turn out?
Google him, man. Google him, bro. That's all we got to do. Let's hop in the chat real quick before we hop out of here. Got some people giving up some IQ. I ain't gonna lie to you. Alex saying Deshaun Spears on Eli Stowers. That's a big frame safety. That'd be an interesting
But see, the
matchup.
only thing with that, the only
Too
time
skinny?
Deshaun Spears, the only time I see Deshaun Spears getting the game is when Blake goes with that three safety look. When he got
Okay.
Spears, Cooley, and Hoss in the game at the same time. When he don't have that three safety look, I never see Deshaun Spears on the field. If he has been on the field, when he wasn't in the three safety look, it couldn't have been too many snaps this year
Nah,
if it
and
did
then
happen.
even the big game he had, bro, it was only 9 snaps. So he does get in and out
Yeah,
and
and that
really
was in a three
selective
safety look.
points. Yeah, it's a selective scheme. Then we got this guy talking about transfers and quarterbacks. He wants to see
No,
CJ
absolutely
Bailey.
not. Absolutely not. CJ Bailey, NC State, no.
All right, we shutting that one down.
No.
Cole Adams in the chat got LSU 28-17. Randy Jones got him 28-20.
That's
Randy also,
realistic. That could
yeah,
happen.
he likes Aaron running punts. And then we got one more question in here before we're gonna hop out of here. What about the spin the block on Derek Williams Jr. Wardell Mack? They're not playing much at Texas this year.
Listen, I love Derek Williams, Westgate High School. I know he tore his ACL last year, and I want to say he tore his ACL like in the middle of last season. So I think that's a big reason why he's not playing as much this year because he's not all the way back himself. Wardell Mack, good player. I don't think they need to spin the block on Wardell Mack though. Derek Williams though, yeah, I would love to see a homecoming with Derek Williams. Really, really good player.
Come on, man. Let's get it going. Yeah. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're gonna
That's
get
some
out
good
of here.
questions.
Yeah, we got some good activity here, man. I think it's because it's on the screen. Everybody, they see the comments on the screen, man. They got to tap in. You got to bring
Oh
the
yeah, we got to
energy on
keep doing that
Friday.
then.
Oh my God! And then here comes Damon Wilson, 52-3, ball.
Dang, come on, bro.
I love the spirit, bro. I love the spirit. If it happens, man, Damon Wilson, bro, you the truth. You called it. I don't know what to tell you. It'll be an interesting game. Friday, we're gonna give our picks. G, I don't want to spoil the record. We're just gonna let the people wonder what the record is. I don't know. Don't tell them. It don't matter. We'll figure it out on Friday, bro. It is what it is. Be what it be. All right. I see it. We're gonna be living up. We're gonna be scheming. I got bit last week, but look, I don't get bit back to back. That's the thing. I don't think I'm gonna get bit back to back. I know
Winners
it's all in the mind.
Win.
You right, and I'm about to go get it, man. I'm about to go get it. I want to get on here with a broom. I need it. One of us has to get on here with a damn broom. Somebody needs to go 3-0. Whoever goes 3-0 first, man, that's bragging rights right there. So I'm going to chase it. I got to go
This
get
weekend,
it.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, we'll see. Somebody gonna have a broom on Monday morning. Y'all got to tap in on Friday. We're coming out with our top 3 picks. Be there, man. I don't even gotta explain. What's understood don't gotta be explained. G. Appreciate your time. Appreciate everybody. Y'all hit that thumbs up button before we hop out of here. Enjoy the rest of y'all day.